In this video of JavaScript, we are going to start the operators. As so far in the JavaScript implementation, we have seen like how can we define a variable and can set a value either at compilation time, that is while writing the code, or at runtime, that is by using the prompt box. But once the value is assigned, if I want to do some operations such as I want to add a couple of numbers or I want to compare a couple of numbers whether which one is greater or smaller, I can do that all by using the operators. As operator is nothing but a symbol which tells the system that which particular task need to be performed in that particular data on which you are applying the operator. So the operator is the symbol and the things on which the operator would be applied will be called the operand. For example, if there are a couple of variables where a and where b, and we are saying like a plus b, so plus is the operator and a and b are the operands on which the operator is being applied. In JavaScript, we have a vast list of the operators, and using individual operators we can perform the specific tasks. So on the basis of the operands, these operators can be classified as the unary operator, means a single operand operator, binary operator means the operator having two operands, or ternary operator means the operators having three operands. But functionally we can classify into these categories such as the assignment operator. We have already seen the assignment operator, that is the equals to symbol where we have assigned the value to a particular variable, like where a is equal to 2. So this equals to variable or equals to operator will assign the value 2 to the variable a. Apart from that, we do have the arithmetic operator, comparison operator, logical operator, and again ternary operator. So let's have a look about these operators individually. As in arithmetic operators, you can see like plus, minus, multiplication, that is for asterisk, slash, forward slash for division, and a percentage symbol for the modulus. Means if you want to add two numbers, you want to subtract, you want to multiply, you divide two numbers. For example, you say 5 divided by 2. So what will happen? In the quotient it will be 2, in the remainder it will be 1. So the slash will take the quotient part, means the division operator will take the quotient part, while the modular symbol will take the remainder part. So both are related to the division only. One is dealing with the quotient, another one is dealing with the remainder. But rather than this discussing here, let's see all of these things practically.
So for getting started with the arithmetic operators, I will take a couple of variables like num1, I'll assign some value such as 40, and num2, in which I will assign again some value like 10. Now, as we have already discussed about the arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulus, so let's do them very quickly. I am not taking any variable, I am just printing the results directly. You can actually take a variable and can assign some value into that if you want to reuse that value further. So what I do here is num1 plus num2, and here I'm just adding these two numbers. Very similarly, I'll do some more tasks like subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and finding the modulus. So before proceeding, let's break the line for each like this, and let's see the output now. So here 40 plus 10 is 50, 40 minus 10 is 30, 40 multiplied by 10 is 400. When you will divide 40 with 10, in quotient you will get 4, and in remainder it's 0. So like this, all the operators are working perfectly. Now let's do it in another ways, like for example, if I say var result is equal to num1 plus num2, so the result will be assigned to the result variable, alright, and you can now print that particular value like this. and it will work like same. But if you want to do some shorthand operation like things, you can do that as well. But for that, let's take some other scenario. Like here, what I'm doing is I'm just incrementing the value of num1 to an extent. For example, num1 is equal to num1 plus 5. What it will do? It will simply add the 5 in the current value of num1, which is 40, and will change the current value, that is the new value, to 45. So now if I will print the value of num1, you will get 45. But for the same thing, I can actually write it like this also, that is plus equals to. That means the same and will give you exact same output like this. It's again giving you 45. Now let's talk about the operator precedence. So for that, what I'll do, I'll just take one more variable called result, and now what I'll do is 10 plus 5 into 20. So now when I will print the value of result, what it will do is, first of all, since the multiplication precedence is higher than the plus, so first of all 5 will get multiplied to the 20, which will result you 100, and then this 100 would be added to the 10, which will give you 110 in the output. But if you want to change the precedence, you can put them in the parentheses, so the precedence of parentheses is always higher. So now this 10 plus 5 would be done, that is the 15, and then that 15 would be multiplied to 20, which will give you 300, like this. Alright, so this is about the operator precedence. Now let's change the value of the variables of numeric types using the single operators or the unary operators, that is plus plus or minus minus. So here, as we have already discussed, like whenever you will use this plus plus operator, it will actually make the increment by 1. So now when I'll refresh, you can see it's 11, and they come into two varieties. This is the post increment, and if you'll put the plus plus before, it will be a pre-increment. Let's talk about the difference. Since here I have used plus plus num, that means it is pre-increment and the increment will be done before the value is getting assigned to the result. So before the assignment, the increment would be done, that is num will become 11, and then that 11 would be assigned to result. So in this particular case, both the values would be having 11. Let me break the line to get the clear output. Right, like this. But in case if I'll go for the post increment, that will give you a different result. In this particular case, since it is the post increment, that means the assignment would be done before the increment. So by the time the value of num would be assigned to the result would be having 10, and after this assignment the value of num would be incrementing, so the num will have the 11. So when you will print the value of result, it will give you a 10, and while num will give you 11. Let's check it out. The same result which I was talking about. And very similarly, you can do it for the minus minus operator as well, as the way of using the pre and post increment or decrement is going to be very same.